Hello everybody, this is the HBJ TV, back-to-back days of the Ruck Rant, still walking it, still no ruck, but out here ranting, and out here walking, so if I can't ruck, I'm still gonna get those miles in, cause yeah, tired of being part of Club Fat Fuck right now. Which today brings us in, which could be probably a shorter rant, but we're gonna go on people who are in the Club Fat Fuck. Now, I'm excluding people who've been in major injuries, accidents, things like that. Though you can pull your shit out of it. It's not as easy, I get it. I had a buddy, I'm not going to name his name. He's since passed, but he was an athlete his whole life, got in an accident, tore up his knee extremely bad, and just put on a ton of weight. All the way up until the time he died. He let me know he'd like to try and fix that, get back into somewhat shape, and as you get older it makes it more difficult, but the desire has to be there to put the work in. And he had that desire, and unfortunately we never got to get down to work, and as Forrest Gump would say, that's all I have to say about that. But for the most part, I would say, regardless of your situation, it's always a choice, and it's not always an easy choice, and it's a pain in the ass a lot of times, but it's still a choice. You have a choice to what you eat, what you put in your body, if you exercise or not. I know a lot of people say they don't have time. Sometimes you don't. I get it. The job I work, there's times I work in the mills where I'm working 7, 12s, 14s, or worse. And just to try and get home and get the proper rest to get my ass back up and go right back into work, I don't have time to do all this meal prepping for the week. I get it. There's going to be times where you slide off the rails. There's going to be times where you just don't have time to exercise. That being said, you have to dedicate yourself to saying, hey, when shit like that's over, I'm right back. This is my start date. No bullshit. I'm getting back on the horse. I'm going to ride this bitch until I get to where I want to be. And I know I have meal prepped my entire life until my wife got pregnant with our baby. Boxed when I was younger, wrestled since I was 10, all the way up to high school. Constantly watching weight, making weight, and then the military, and then I did bodybuilding, and then when I fought in the military, it's like constantly always watching. And then there were some points where I said, fuck it, I just want a 6-pack year round, and I did. So, but that was, again, it's a choice. It wasn't easy. Back then I was drinking like fucking Sam Kinison used to party. And I used to party as well, so. But I made it happen. Because that's what I wanted. Before I go any further, I like to say I'm not sponsored by them. They don't give me any money, give me any products. But show you my Black Rifle coffee. drink these son bitches every single day of my life. It's nothing better. Usually at work, I drink their espressos, the chocolate and the vanilla. How's it going? Then on the weekends I'll drink these. You got the vanilla bomb, you got the chocolate one, and then you got the I want to say caramel, salted caramel. All tremendous flavors, just the right amount of caffeine and everything else that they put in it, just tremendous. But off that little sidetrack, go buy Black Rifle Coffee. It's a veteran-owned company. Tastes fucking amazing. You're giving back to your country, to your people, instead of buying that bullshit from other companies. And you know you're getting a good product too. That guy who owns that company, man, he's if you've ever looked him up or saw him in podcasts or interviews, he's a psychopath when it comes to coffee. From my understanding, he was part of special operations, and when they would bring shit to deployments, he used to bring fucking coffee makers. So, if that tells you anything, he gives a fuck about his coffee. So off that sidetrack, off that side rant, before I forget, also, again, this is just me listening to my iPod. Yes, I do have an old school fucking iPod, because I refuse to put music on my phone. It's brought to you by one of the greatest bands of all time, Steel Panther. And the current song I'm listening to at the moment is called Glory Hole. If you think I'm kidding, or you don't believe me that there is a song called Glory Hole, or a band called Steel Panther, look them up. They're a phenomenal band, put out many albums, even have their own Behind the Music, featuring Scott Ian of Anthrax. Yeah, check them out. Got songs like Fat Girl, Tiger Woods, Weenie Ride. If you've ever had a love song that you've wanted to play at your wedding, or something you wanted to surprise somebody to get engaged with, you put Weenie Ride on in the background. You're a shoo-in. I promise. Steel Panther's got something for everybody. That being said, back to the topic. Let's see. Give me a second. I always go to the right side. I don't know what's to the left. Today we're going to go to the left. See what's this way. We get over the bridge. Got this going. This is the bridge that gets you back to humanity, and then I'm going back on a trail. This is another trail that they're trying to cut out, I guess. That leads to a road, and that's the trail I usually go. I'm going to try this way today. But not bad of a view on this side so far. You can actually see through the trees a little bit of the lake or river, whatever the fuck this is. But yeah. So obesity. God damn, that's good. Yeah, I find myself in that category at the moment. All because I can't train. I could barely make it through a day of work. But I do, because I'm a fucking man. I haven't missed a day. I haven't taken a day off. I haven't left early. I haven't got there late. That's just because, A, the work ethic that was instilled in me by the phenomenal iron workers I started out with when I started. Thank to all of them all the time, every day of my life, for having the pleasure to have come up with them and have them instill that in me, in which I try and talk to the younger guys to do the same. Doesn't always work though. Different generation. Again, different rant for a different time. But before we slide off that fucking ridge, see if I can get this. I know I got fucking ADD. I'm constantly getting off topic and looking at other shit, but you got a half a tree that fell in the fucking water. Yeah, I'm part of Team Fat Fuck right now. I used to sit between 150, 160, pushing it at 170. I've done a couple shows where I purposefully got up to 175, which was foolish because it just took more dieting. Whoa, sorry. Never know who's on the trails. But yeah, it just took more for me to get down to weight. But at this point, I wouldn't mind getting back down to 170. That's probably going to be around my target weight. I don't really give a fuck about weight, except for the fact I'm too fucking fat right now. It's just about the way I look and feel. If I'm fucking 220 and I feel fucking outstanding, I'll be 220. But I'm 5'6" or 5'7", depending on if I'm using my inversion table. And yes, that shit does work. But 220 is just not a weight for me. It's sloppy. It's too much. It's bad for my joints. I feel like if I can drop 25 pounds and get down to 170, I'll be pretty happy with that. Get my waist back to a respectable waist. This fat fucking waist I got right now. But yeah, I think as much as people like to complain and use stories and excuses, it's a fucking choice. Doing things in life isn't always easy. 100%. When I would compete in shows and diet until I figured it out, it was fucking miserable. Once I figured it out, the only time I was miserable was when it was summer. And I'd go to a barbecue or something and people are cooking Italian sausage, steaks, brats, dogs, shit like that. And I gotta smell that shit. And I got a Tupperware full of chicken and rice and broccoli or asparagus. But there's always a choice. There's always. And yeah, it was a choice and it worked. Because it was something that I wanted and I wanted to do, and I did it. That being said, there's no excuse. I know a big contributor, which has been a hamstring to me for the last over a decade, is sleep. Sleep has a lot to do with weight gain and your metabolism and all that shit. Here we got an open little area. This side's much better to be looking at the river. Little banks. Wondering, the other big lake, people take fishing poles. They're fishing there all day today. Wondering if this little, you come to little spots like this, if you can throw a couple lines in there and pull something out of here. But yeah. I mean, it's just a choice, man. It sucks, it's hard, it's time consuming, but sleep, man, you gotta get yourself in a routine. Again, I keep hating to go back to my competing days, but when I would cut for a show, I would clean out for 4 weeks, and then for the next 8 weeks, I would diet. So the first 4 weeks I'm cutting out basically all sugars that I can. Not all of them, most of them. Dairy, things like that. And so when I do start dieting, it's not a huge shock to my system, which I think was a good thing. I'd like to, anytime somebody asks me to help them, I recommend doing that so it's not such a big shock to your system. And it's like you're slowly starting a diet instead of jumping in with both feet. And especially if you've been eating like shit for a very long time, then you're not shocking your body so much. So, but it's attainable. And then like the whole, I don't have time to exercise. I heard Joe Rogan with a very good argument to that. Some lady was on there saying, my dad can't exercise, blah, blah, blah. His joints, he's sick, blah, blah, blah. The typical excuses everybody gives. And his answer was simple. See, now I'm looking behind my back. I don't want to get snuck up on. But his answer was simple. Can he walk to the fridge? She said yes. Well, then he can exercise. He can do little things. Go for walks. He can do body weight exercises. And personally, an insanely inspiring story. Hold on, I got a fucking rock in my shoe. If you want to YouTube DDP Yoga, Diamond Dallas Page, the wrestler, started this yoga thing to help people who are fucked up, mostly wrestlers. But there was a guy who was in the military. Too many jumps, fucked up his back. He had walking canes. Dude was fucked. Dude was crippled, bro. Was fat as fuck, couldn't walk, was being pushed around by his family in a chair. Horrible story, sad as fuck. And one day he said, I'm tired of slowly dying. That's it. I'm tired of slowly dying. And I'm gonna do something. So this guy, who couldn't do a motherfucking thing on his own, started trying to do this DDP yoga. Started eating a little better. And man, if you watch this video and it doesn't bring a tear to your eye, you're a fuckhead. I am not too ashamed to say I can't watch that video without choking up. It's fucking amazing. Tremendous. So, long story short, the guy falls and falls and falls and falls and falls in this video, trying to do basic things because he has zero strength anywhere in his body. Whew. Hold on a sec, gotta running. How's it going? But dude was fucked. At the end, the dude fucking who couldn't walk, could find arm braces in a wheelchair, started walking. Not only that, the dude looked like a third, if not less, of the dude that started. He looked like a completely 1/3 of another human, if not less. Again, long story short, that motherfucker started sprinting towards the camera, and You can't help but fucking cheer for people like that who take their life in their own hands. I love it. I fucking love it, man. Get some. Fucking quit feeling sorry for yourself. Turn your own shit around. I fucking love it, man. And there's so many cases like that. That's just one that he threw in the picture. Got another passer. How's it going?
How you doing?
Living the dream.
Yes, I know it.
There's another one. Guy looks like his joints are shot, but guess what? He's out here fucking walking. Fucking love it. So yeah, I get lazy myself sometimes too, just don't want to fucking meal prep. It's not hard. It literally takes half hour of your time to meal prep. How long does it take to fucking have a rice cooker and throw some rice in a fucking rice cooker? It cooks it for you. It tells you when it's done. You have to do nothing. You buy yourself a cheap ass rice cooker and you cook your rice. And it's made for the week. Some rice cookers even have steamers on it. So you're done with that. And you throw your fucking vegetables on there. And you fucking steam your vegetables. Throw it in another Tupperware. You're like 30, 40 minutes in, and you got 2/3 of your meals for the week. Now, you gotta figure out what you want. Make chicken, steak, whatever the fuck you want for your meat and protein source. You could throw shit on the grill. You could boil it. I like to boil it because it keeps the juices and keeps them saturated a little bit better. Should have went the other way. I think this one dead ends by the road, but it's all right. But then you got chicken sauce or steak sauce for the week. 3 different Tupperwares. So when you get your shit ready for the next day at work, bam, there you go. Then, depending on what your goals are, you could have a cup of oatmeal in the morning, throw a little cinnamon on it. I know it don't taste that great, plain oatmeal, but as C.T. Fletcher says, we're not eating the food for the taste, we're eating them for the results. Yeah, it sucks sometimes, but man, you force this shit down long enough, you look in the mirror and you're like, motherfucker. Once you start seeing results, shit becomes easier. As much as it sucks, it becomes easier. Because you get excited about doing it. At first, you're not excited. You just wanna. I'm gonna get to the marker and turn around. And then maybe I'll do a lap. Because I don't feel like I walked too much yet. Maybe I have. But, yeah, it sucks at first. You don't want to do it. It's hard. It's a pain in the ass. How's it going? Got this bridge. Goes underneath another bridge. And we're back here. Get to my little road marker up here. And I'll turn around and go back to civilization. Yeah, it fucking sucks, man. You don't want to do it. You almost don't even want to diet because it's work. It's hard. Especially after a long day at work, driving home. You don't want to make chicken for the 1,000th time. You don't want to eat that asparagus or that broccoli for the 1,000th time. You're sick of it. You smell a hibachi restaurant. You smell. Even fucking McDonald's you smell. And it smells like a gourmet restaurant. I'm telling you. I get it. But it's all about discipline. As Jocko Willink says, discipline equals freedom. No, I'm quoting a lot of guys today, but it's right. if you stay disciplined and you finish and get to your goal, which please don't stop there, because 99% of the people, especially on weight loss, they get to their goal, they quit and they get fat again. Please continue. Doesn't have to be as drastic, but nonetheless. But yeah, you're free then. You're free of time with more joint pain than you need. You're free of all the extra sores and hurts that you need. If you have to start with body weight exercises, doing planks, push-ups, sit-ups, wall hangs, where you just get in a chair position and sit against the wall, stupid shit like that. Stretching can, I mean, me and a buddy of mine used to do yoga in his front room and sweat our balls off. I mean, any little thing, get that heart racing. So, and one of the bigger reasons why today's topic is obesity and fat people, it drives me nuts seeing it. It drives me nuts being part of it. I talk about this at work a lot. If you look at a picture from the 1970s at a beach, just Google it. Never, ever in your life will you see somebody overweight at that beach. You can zoom in all you want. You're not going to see somebody overweight. I dare you to go to a beach now. Nobody gives a Frenchman's fuck. People go there. Disgusting. I haven't been to a beach in ages. But I know the last time I went, there was a guy who, from the front, you couldn't even tell if he had a swimsuit on because his stomach fell that far over where his shorts would be. It was awful. Everyone involved, it was awful. And people are glorifying this shit. I see YouTube videos all the time, and like, perfect example. They used to have a thing at Victoria's Secret called the Angels, where they were all anorexic and bulimic looking, each to their own, whatever. I'd say a couple years ago, my wife gets like little mailings from them. I get home from work and she shows me, and they got obese women modeling for Victoria's Secret. That drives me up a wall. It's the complete opposite of what Victoria's Secret is. It's lingerie. If you're that big, don't be wearing lingerie. Nobody wants to see it. It's just like when you go out in public and you see someone who's way too big wearing a half shirt or belly shirt, men or women, but I see it more on women, and they wear those tight yoga pants or fucking short shorts, and there's kids scared, men are running for their lives, women are throwing up in their purses, and then you got the ones who walk by who say how brave they are. They're so brave. Diabetes and heart disease ain't brave. And they say, oh, we're healthy. Nothing at all about being overweight's healthy. Nothing. I'm what I would consider overweight, but I'm extremely functional. And there's nothing healthy about the way I am right now. And those people make me look like Lee Labrada. So, another example. I'm sick of everywhere I go in the side of a store now. obese people are riding around on mobility scooters. Holy mother of fuck. If anybody needs to be walking around the grocery store, at least lean on the fucking cart and push it. Get the fuck out of the mobility scooter. If you're that fucked up that you can't make, what is it, maybe 500 steps around the grocery store to buy your groceries, it's time. It really is. It's time that you figure this thing out called life. It really is. So, not that I fly a whole lot, but when you're on a plane, and this happens to me almost exclusively every time I've ever flown, I get sat next to fucking Large Marge, and their body spills halfway into my seat, and I feel like that's a lifestyle choice, and if you want to continue with that, you should have to buy 2 seats. There's big guys who are world strong, man, who, from my understanding, do have to buy 2 seats because they can't fit no more. And God bless them for doing the right thing. But, yeah. And just imagine what kind of toll stuff like that takes on the healthcare system. Because now they have to adjust for all this overweight shit. Maybe it's better for them. Maybe they like it because they could treat more people. And that's where all the money's at. Treating, not helping. So, that's another rant for another time, but it's the truth. That's why they want you sick and not cured. If everybody got back into half-ass decent shape, maybe healthcare costs would go down. Maybe they wouldn't. But it's worth a try. It just drives me nuts that people have accepted this. They accepted being overweight. They accepted giving up. It sucks. It does. Trust me. You get that lazy mindset and you say, fuck it. I've had it a lot. Let's go.
Take it easy.
And I've had it a lot, man. Where I'm just after work, just laying around the house. I get it. Don't want to get up, meal prep. Get it. Don't want to go downstairs, hit the heavy bag. Get it. But you gotta kind of force yourself. If you force yourself into doing things like that, regardless of how good of a workout it is, it's still something. At the end of the day, you're always gonna feel better. You're always gonna say when you're done, nice. I did it, I finished it. And usually, not always, but usually once you're done doing that, let's say you go down and hit the heavy bag for 40 minutes. You already got the heart rate up. You're already feeling a little better about yourself because you forced yourself into doing something. Fuck it, let's meal prep. Fuck it, let's go for a walk. Fuck it, let's do this. It's just that initial get your ass up off the couch moment. For me, this back needs to heal. Putting a nice gym in the basement. Might start documenting that. Getting my ass back into shape. Showing people the meal prep. Showing people maybe a little bit of an exercise routine. Always gonna still do the Ruck Rants once my back's better. Weather permitting. I live in the country now, so my car might not always get around, but do what I can. Do some cooking, some nice meal prep or some Italian dishes. Cacio e pepe, some carbonara, And I know I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but the spaghetti aglio. Make a couple dishes. Super easy, super simple. Yeah, so that's about that. So kind of wrap all this up. It's a choice, man. It's a shitty choice. It sucks. It's hard. Anything that sucks is hard. But do it. Just fucking do it. It's not hard to get in your car, drive to a forest preserve and walk. It's not. Even if you got to use a cane, a walker, whatever it is. Bring your dog. If you got a dog, take the dog for a walk. Because if you're that out of shape, I'm sure your dog is too. But yeah, every journey begins with the first step. That's it. You gotta take that step. You might be sore as fuck after your first walk. But that means you did something. You finished. You accomplished something. Try and do it every day. If you can't, do it every weekend. And then build yourself up to being like, after work I'll walk around the neighborhood. At the very least, I'll walk around the neighborhood. So, one more people pass and I'll wrap this thing up. Whew. How's it going? So to wrap everything up, please, let's do something about this obesity problem. I don't want this to be an excuse no more. Yes, 100%. We got the best food in the world. Yes, Italy's food's great, but Italy doesn't give you the portions America gives you. Chicago alone. And I don't want to start this argument because you're wrong and I'm right. But we got the best pizza. We got Italian beef. We got combos. And yes, in Chicago we are fat fucks. And we combine Italian sausage and Italian beef. Throw some mozzarella on there, some giardiniera, possibly some red sauce, and soak that motherfucker. That's how fat we are in Chicago. I mean, we got it all. We got the best food. We got Vienna beef hot dogs. We got Italian sausages, brats. We got a place just as you're entering downtown that if you're out drinking and you smell this place coming home, you'll cause an accident going across 5 lanes of traffic just to get to this place. It's called Maxwell Street. 100%. So we do have the best food, and I get it, it's tough. But a lot of these places, make them as treats. Once your fucking metabolism starts rocking and rolling. Let's not make this mainstream anymore. It's disgusting. They're not heroes. Fat people aren't heroes. It's not sexy to be fat. It's not nice or cute. It's disgusting. It's unhealthy. You're setting a bad precedent for people growing up. Probably the parents' fault. 99% of behavior from people as they get older is the parents' fault. Not all. You pave your own path. But if you were raised eating meals at the table and now you're older and you're not eating meals at a table, you're ordering out all the time, that's obviously your own path. That's a shitty one. So, get back into shape. Quit being fat. Quit making up excuses. This is CHBJ. Out.